So this is the reward of growing microgreens, having your own personal microgreen farm. Here's my microgreen farm grow box system. I built these about a year ago, and I'm going to tell you what I don't like about them. So first of all, I used rabbit cage tray bins as my reservoir, and they have these ridges, and what that means is puddles form in these pockets here, and the grow box is always wet, always moist, very humid. And I think that a 2x2 reservoir that you would buy for hydroponics, which has a sump, a lower area that drains all of the water out, I think that would be better. You can also buy them so they are 7 inches high. This one is, I don't know, maybe 4, be about that high, and you wouldn't have to put as much of a PVC box on top. This PVC is expensive material, and I thought I was saving money by buying the rabbit tray bin instead of getting a real hydroponic flood and drain tray. But in the end, I probably paid the difference in PVC building this box, and the box was kind of it was a little complex to build. It wasn't too bad. So that's one thing I don't like. Another thing that I found is that the ventilation, this fan is an exhaust fan, and that means air is coming in here. And what I found is the sunflowers in this area are kind of stunted. They grow slow, and I think it's because of the air coming in this direction and cooling them off, and even a slight cooling like that will stunt their growth. So I can tell you what I'm going to do to solve that problem is to put a plastic cover over here so that air moves in this direction instead of down on the sunflowers. So that's another thing I'm going to fix. I thought that I could solve humidity problems with a lot of ventilation. Well, in fact, the reality is even a little bit of cold air impacts the sunflowers. It probably doesn't impact the broccoli, but which in my system I do the broccoli here and the sunflowers here. Another thing that I would really like to change is I use these clear plastic tops and put my LED strips. I glued it to these tops. You can see these things are flexible. I've got kind of a cheap way to hold it up here. That's kind of, honestly, it's a pain more than anything. But these things are fine when they're in this position. But as soon as you open it up, they're flexible, they make noise. I'm afraid about the connection, electrical connection to the lights. So I would just make and I don't use these in the sun. The idea was I'll put it in the sun and then I won't need to use lights. But the reality is I just grow here in the basement. So next time I would just put PVC, maybe a 1/4 inch PVC sheet rather than the plexiglass. It's important to have a good way to keep the top held up while you work in the bin. I don't have that yet. I could easily get rid of these fluorescent lights and make a good way to hold the top up though. So next time I would not make any connections inside the box. I would route all wires outside the box and connect them outside the box. This is kind of ridiculous. These wires, these connections, the tape, it's all in an extremely humid environment. And, these are 1 year old, and it's already coming apart. So those are things that I don't like about my boxes, and I would build them differently next time. But at the same time, I have produced many, many batches of microgreens using these boxes and have had a few failures due to mold, but those are hard to explain, but they don't happen all the time. So most of the time I have good crops coming out of here. And the most amazing thing is I'm able to grow a pretty substantial part of my diet when I eat a microgreen smoothie every day. They taste great. The smoothie gives a lot of energy. Really enjoy them. Thank you for watching.